You won't believe what really went down between Teyana Taylor and her ex-husband Iman Shumpert. On the outside, they looked perfect. They were the kind of couple that made people believe in love. Every red carpet appearance looked flawless, every family photo looked warm and genuine. They gave the world an image of a strong power couple that seemed untouchable. But behind the polished smiles and carefully curated social media posts, there was trouble brewing that nobody could see. When the truth finally spilled out, it hit like a bomb. Iman, who already had a reputation for being unpredictable, suddenly found himself in the headlines again. But this time, it wasn't about basketball, or even the usual whispers about his behavior. No, this time it was much uglier. He was publicly tearing down Teyana, calling her a bad mother, which shocked everyone. This was the same woman who had held him down, sacrificed her career, and put her own dreams aside to build a family with him. What made things worse was the fact that after everything he allegedly put her through, Iman had the nerve to demand spousal support. Yes, you heard that right, he wanted her to pay him. This wasn't some peaceful separation where both sides agreed to move on. This was a storm that had been building in private for years, and when it finally erupted, it was messy. At first, Teyana tried to protect her family's image. She even went on Instagram, assuring fans that their split wasn't about cheating, and that they were still on good terms. She wanted to keep the drama away from the public. But when court documents surfaced, the truth was impossible to ignore. It turned out she had been living through years of jealousy and emotional pain. Iman reportedly resented her success. Even though his NBA career gave him plenty of money and fame, he hated that cameras and fans gravitated toward her. He couldn't stand seeing her shine, and instead of dealing with his insecurities, he allegedly took it out on her, making her home life unbearable. Teyana had sacrificed a lot for that marriage. She turned down music deals, acting roles, and countless opportunities so she could be at home, raising their kids and being the wife he wanted. She thought that by putting him first, their marriage would be stronger. But no matter what she gave up, it was never enough. After she gave birth to one of their children, Iman reportedly started complaining that she wasn't bringing in money anymore. Imagine giving up everything for your partner, only for him to turn around and blame you for not working. It was heartbreaking. Still, Teyana tried. She stepped back, gave him space, and even gave their marriage another chance. But when they reunited, nothing had changed. He was still insecure, still bitter, and as his basketball career slowed down, his attitude reportedly got even worse. Teyana claimed his behavior became mentally cruel, and it reached a point where she couldn't take it anymore. When these details became public, people started seeing Iman differently. The man who once seemed calm and collected was now being exposed for who he truly was behind closed doors. That's when he panicked. Reports said he begged the court to change the official reason for their divorce. He didn't want the records to say cruel treatment, because that label would damage his reputation. He wanted it changed to something softer, like irreconcilable differences, to make it look like they simply drifted apart. But this wasn't drifting, it was destruction. And then came the real twist. Not only did Iman want to avoid accountability, he actually demanded that Teyana pay him child support. He claimed she made more money than him, saying he earned about $47,000 a month, while she brought in nearly $100,000. He even told the court he had been giving her $8,000 a month for their kids' expenses. But Teyana didn't stay quiet this time. She fired back, accusing him of stealing over $4 million from her during their marriage. She said he even started major home renovations without telling her, leaving her stuck with a $200,000 bill for unfinished work. If that wasn't enough, she dropped another bomb in court. She revealed that Iman had allegedly withdrawn millions of dollars from their joint account without her consent, most of which was her hard-earned money from music, acting, and business. While she was out hustling to build her empire, he was draining her accounts in secret. She also brought up a DUI case from 2022, claiming he crashed her Rolls-Royce, fled the scene, and was caught with illegal substances in the car. He had tried to bury that scandal, but now it was back in the spotlight. By this point, the judge had heard enough. The evidence painted a clear picture, and it wasn't the one Iman was trying to sell. Instead of winning spousal support, he was ordered to pay Teyana a huge one-time settlement in the millions. On top of that, She got to keep 4 of their homes worth around $10 million, while he was left with a condo and some smaller property. To make matters worse for him, the court ruled that he had to pay her $8,000 every month in child support and cover the cost of private school for their daughters. The internet exploded when the news hit. People couldn't believe how badly he had fumbled. He walked into court expecting money and walked out owing millions. Teyana, on the other hand, kept everything she had built. She didn't have to give up her companies or her fortune. She came out stronger. But Iman didn't take the loss gracefully. Instead of reflecting, he got bitter. In a comedy skit, he hinted that his biggest mistake was choosing Teyana as the mother of his children. He sat there looking resentful, blaming her for all his problems. Social media tore him apart. Fans said he was projecting his own failures onto her. He's not smiling because he knows he fumbled, one person wrote. Another said, Tay hasn't even spoken and somehow she's still the villain? Make it make sense. And that was the difference. While Iman went online, dropping hints and throwing shade, Teyana stayed quiet. She didn't drag him. She didn't clap back. She let the truth speak for itself. Her silence was powerful, and people noticed. They realized who was trying to move forward and who was stuck in bitterness. As time went on, old videos of Iman began resurfacing. Clips of him acting controlling, dismissive, and distant started circulating, and suddenly, everything Teyana had revealed made sense. Fans realized she had been dropping subtle hints for years, but no one had wanted to see it. Now, with all the court drama out in the open, the pieces finally fit together. In the end, Teyana walked away with her dignity intact, her empire safe, and her children protected. Iman walked away with his reputation in ruins and his finances crumbling. The man who once looked like the perfect husband was exposed for who he really was, and the world saw it all unfold. You know what's wild? Teyana Taylor had been dropping little clues for years, but almost nobody noticed. She would talk about protecting her peace, or mention how much she gave up for her family, but back then people didn't really put the pieces together. Now looking back, it all makes sense. She wasn't just talking about normal sacrifices a wife makes. She was hinting at a life where she was carrying the weight of everything while pretending to the world that things were fine. And slowly, the truth started showing itself. It wasn't just fans catching on either. People inside the industry began picking sides. Celebrities who had been quiet before started sending subtle signals of support. Some of Teyana's close friends liked shady posts that clearly threw shots at Iman. Others dropped cryptic comments, the kind that didn't need to spell it out because everyone already knew who they were aimed at. The silence around the situation was cracking, and more people were realizing that Iman wasn't the devoted husband he had always presented himself to be. His polished image was unraveling fast. Meanwhile, Teyana refused to let the chaos consume her. She showed up at red carpet events looking confident. She focused on her businesses, building her brand stronger than ever. Most importantly, she spent time with her daughters, making sure their lives didn't get swallowed by the mess. She didn't post sad quotes or beg for sympathy online. She didn't clap back at the insults. Instead, she let her actions do the talking. That calm, quiet strength made people respect her even more. And that's when the tide started to turn. People began seeing Iman differently. His fan base started shrinking. His comment sections were filled with backlash. Every time he posted something, people reminded him of the queen he had fumbled. Comments poured in saying things like, "You really had a woman like Teyana and lost her? That's on you." Others said, "She kept it classy while you're out here crying for attention." The internet wasn't buying the story of Iman as the victim anymore. Piece by piece, people were connecting the dots. And those dots painted a picture of a man who had sabotaged his own life. But the drama wasn't finished. Destiny had another twist. After months of messy court hearings, shady posts, and endless speculation,